Chapter 5. From Plague to Protestants. The Czech, Jan Hus, and a century later the German, Martin Luther, argued for many of the same reforms: an end to the selling of church offices, and the selling of passes into heaven called indulgences. Hus and Luther both proclaimed the priesthood of all believers, and reliance on the Bible alone for guidance. Yet the church was able to squelch the Hussites, but not the Lutherans. Why? Back in the mid-1300s, the bubonic plague killed 1/3 of Europe's population, creating labor shortages, which created pressure for innovations, like the printing press. As long as there were plenty of monks around to copy things by hand, there was no felt need for a device to crank out copies more efficiently. It took a century after the worst plague year before Gutenberg's printing press with movable type came online. Then, some 60 years after that, 1517, Martin Luther launched the Protestant Reformation. The printing press made the difference. First, the church's own use of the press only made its corruptions more obvious. One of the first uses of the press was to crank out certificates for indulgences. Increased traffic in indulgences highlighted the corruption in the church that motivated Luther's reforms. Second, the printing press produced Bibles in the vulgar tongues. Suddenly the laity, if they were literate, no longer had to rely on what priests reported the Bible said. And third, Luther's 95 Theses, nailed to the church door in Wittenberg, Germany, were soon taken to the local printer, where they became a pamphlet that spread through Europe. So the case for church reform could now be much more effectively disseminated than it could be when Jan Hus made that case. Plague led to printing press, led to Protestant Reformation.